in front of you uses the slider component in Adobe Flash Professional CS 5.5. It's such a shortcode, guys, and it works pretty effectively. Let me show you a published preview before I actually start explaining how I actually did all this. So guys, that's Control Enter on my keyboard to test the movie. And guys, as you can probably hear that we have the volume at 50%, but when I slide the slider component towards the right, the volume is at full blast, and when I take it towards the left, the volume drops, and that's a mute, guys. That's 50%, that's 100%. Right, so basically, guys, what I've done is I've used the slider component which comes with Flash. That's a Windows components, and then I pulled up the slider component. Right, so guys, now is the time ripe to explain how things were done. What I'll be doing is I'll be reconstructing the stage, reconstructing the library, okay, but I'll be leaving the actions panel just the way it is. Once I'm done with the stage and the library, guys, then I'll explain the action script to you. Cool. So guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the slider component, hit delete. I'm gonna select the text field, hit delete. I'm gonna go to the library, and then guys, I'm gonna delete everything one by one, and that's it. Right, so basically in this project, guys, the only thing that I'm left with is the actions panel, which contains the action script. Just 13 lines of action script, guys, with 2 blank lines. Amazing. Okay, so such a short code firing of a sound slider. Isn't that awesome, guys? I think it is. Alright, so guys, now let me start from scratch. The first thing, guys, that I want to do is I wish to bring in some sound that I need to play, and the way to do it is I need to say a file and import to library. Okay, I have this sound which is some soothing piece of music that I'm gonna import to the library. Guys, before I can actually pull up any music through the action script and play it, I need to do an AS linkage or action script linkage. Let's see how I can actually do that. I need to say right click, I need to go to properties, I need to select the action script tab. That's because I'm using Adobe Flash Professional CS 5.5. You could be using version 5 and it could be slightly different out there. Okay, then I need to check this on, and then I need to give a class name so I can actually pull the sound using the class name, and I'm gonna call it music. Keeping things very simple, guys, and then okay, ignore the warning, say okay once again. Guys, now the AS linkage is complete, which means I can pull this sound through the action script and play it. Great. Okay, now guys, what I need to do is I need to go to Windows, go to components, and pull out the slider component like so. Great. Okay, I find the slider component is a little smaller in size, in width rather, so I'm going to increase the width to, let's say, a 200. Cool. Right. Okay guys, I would want to give this slider component a name, and I'll call it SC. S for slider, C for component, underscore MC for movie clip. Great. Let me test. Okay, it's pulling up an error because we need a text field as well. Moreover, guys, when I select the slider component, here in the components parameters, I have got many parameters like direction, enable, live dragging, maximum, min, snap interval, tick interval, and value. The first thing that I would want to change is the value. I would want the value to be right in the center or the middle. Okay, not too loud, not mute as well. So that's a 50% volume. Since I want to play the song at 50% volume, I would want to keep the value for the slider component at 50% as well. So the values range from 0 to 10. I'm gonna keep it at 5. Right, and guys, the moment I hit enter, you should see that the slider is now bang in the center of the groove where it slides. Great. Okay, which basically means that whatever this slider component will be used for, will be at 50% intensity or 50% size. Alright, but it will be at 50%. Great. Also guys, let me keep the snap interval at 0.1. okay, that'll ensure that when I'm moving the slider, it's pretty smooth and not very jumpy. The default is pretty jumpy guys, but I would want the snap interval to be at 0.1. That'll ensure that when I move the slider left and right, it'll be a smooth movement. Great. Alright, what else? Yep, I would need a text field, so I'm gonna hit the text tool guys, and then making sure that the font is Ravi, but you could select any other font. That's absolutely alright guys, but I somehow like this font a lot, so I'm gonna draw a text field. Alright, and I'm gonna name this text field volume underscore txt. Great. Let me just take the slider a little down, as well as the text field towards the bottom. Alright, this looks fine to me. Great. So guys, this is the slider component, this is the text field. Cool. And let me test it once again to see if everything is fine. Yep, with the exception that Flash is prompting me to embed the fonts so that this message won't appear again and again. So what I'll do is I'll select the text field and click on the embed button. Okay, and in the dialog box that appears, I'm going to choose character ranges all, say okay, and I'm done guys. All the the Ravi font is now embedded. If I test the movie now, the output message that used to come out here will not appear anymore. Great. Awesome. So guys, I'm able to manipulate the volume through the slider component, and that's because of all the magic that's lying in the actions layer. Guys, let me show you the timeline as well. The timeline contains one single layer where all the assets as well as the action scripts script is residing, but ideally you should separate the two. You should have a separate actions layer and a separate layer for your assets or different assets, but for convenience sake I've just kept them all on one single frame, but that's not a good habit guys. Anyways, so guys, let's check this 13 lines of action script. Alright, minus 2 lines, these minus 2 blank lines, so effectively it's just 11 lines of action script. Great guys, the first thing that I've done in line number 1 is I've imported the slider event class. Okay, class is nothing but building blocks to the code. Right, they're pre-written programs by Flash. Now in line number 3 guys, I'm declaring a variable my song which is holding the new music. And if you remember the guys, the music is nothing but the soothing music.mp3. We did the AS linkage just a while back, and here's the embedded font guys. This is the slider component. Great. Right, so basically the variable my song is now holding the music, which is the soothing music mp3. Great. Now guys, I've created another variable called my channel of the type sound channel. Now guys, you need a channel to play your song. You need a channel to play your song. Okay, and the channel has been named my channel. Then I've created yet another variable called my transform guys, and this variable my transform is holding the volume intensity. Okay, so I've declared two variables, my channel and my transform. The channel variable is a variable that is required to play the sound inside the channel. The other variable called my transform is required to hold the sound intensity guys. Great. And guys, Flash says that when you need to play the sound in the channel, the way to do it is make the channel equal to the variable that is holding the song dot play method, and I've passed in two parameters, guys. This is the starting point and this is the number of loops. So I would want my song to start from the very beginning, the music to start from the very beginning, but loop 10 times. The reason for that is that the music that I'm playing is pretty short, guys. It's hardly a few seconds, so I'm looping it again and again. Alright, and then, guys, if you remember, sc_mc's slider component underscore movie clip is nothing but the instance name of the slider component that we had brought over onto the stage from Windows components. Right, and I've added an event listener. It's a slider event, guys, and on every thumb drag, so while I'm actually dragging the thumb on the slider, okay, something is happening, and that something is a function which is change volume. So every time the thumb is being dragged on the slider, this function change volume is getting fired off, and this function, guys, is then storing the volume in my transform variable through the volume property, and which is then being equal to sc_mc dot value, basically the value of the slider. sc_mc is the slider component, guys, and the value of that. Okay, so the value is between 1 and 10, guys, 0 and 10 rather. So whatever the value of the slider that's being fed to my transform is through the volume property holding the volume. Okay, and then, guys, what I've done in line number 11 is my channel, which is the channel where the music is playing, through the sound transform property I made it equal to my transform. Okay, so the music which plays in the sound channel is getting transformed and being made equal to my transform volume. Right, and then, guys, if you remember, I'd created a text field and I'd called it volume underscore text. Through the text property is being made equal to volume is plus sc_mc dot value, and sc_mc dot value is nothing but the volume of the value of the slider component, plus I'm adding this small text which is volume is. So, guys, that's it. Pretty short and pretty smart, I suppose. So control enter to test the movie once again, and yes, pretty effective as well, guys. So let me know how you found it, guys. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you enjoyed it too, guys. I'll see you next time with yet another Flash and ActionScript 3 tutorial. You have a good day, guys. Peace. Bye bye.